All right, folks, one of the questions we get a lot is about training for an altitude event. In other words, you live at sea level, maybe a little above sea level, but you're training for something that's going to take you above sea level and have some altitude to it. So several things with that. It's a really difficult nut to crack because no matter what you do, when you go to altitude, there's less oxygen there, and that's going to affect your exertion rate. So the easiest, best thing to do is get on the ground at altitude a little early and give your body time to adapt. It literally adapts within days, but typically you need about 2 weeks to get full adaptation for your blood to have to carry that oxygen better. So about 2 weeks is optimal if you can do that. If you can only get a few days at altitude is better than nothing. So the more time you can spend at that altitude before you start the event, the better you are, the better off you are. But either way, whether you do that or not, there are a couple of things you can do at your current location to prepare for altitude training. And I look at really two things. One I call submaximal exercise, and two is a cardiovascular adaptation. Submaximal exercise is very simple. The stronger and more fit I get at sea level, the less I have to exert energy in doing whatever my event is, then the easier it will be for me to operate at altitude because I'm exerting less energy and requiring less oxygen. So for example, somebody that can squat 225, if I put them on a bar and say repeatedly do reps of 135, they will do so pretty easily. It's submaximal to them. They're not exerting a lot of energy. And so again, they'll do a lot of those. But I take somebody that can squat only say 155 and put them under the same bar, they're exerting a lot more energy with every repetition and it's taking more out of them. So take that and extend it to your event. You've got a lot of strength and endurance work done. Yes, you're stronger and it seems to not make a difference. You may feel that maybe I don't need that, but when you get to altitude, what it does is it allows you to work at a submaximal level. You're not exerting as much energy per step, and so therefore you're able to go farther because you need less oxygen than maybe somebody who's exerting more energy. So submaximal exercise is important. The more fit you get at sea level, the more power and endurance you'll have at altitude within limits. The second piece is that cardiovascular endurance. A lot of people don't realize that cardiovascular adaptation is not just supplying more blood to the working muscles, but part of that adaptation is your muscles building what we call the mitochondria that allows them to use the oxygen when it gets there at the cellular level. A lot of times you may be thinking you're pretty fit, but a lot of the oxygen that you're delivering is actually being exhaled back out because your muscles can't use it. So the more cardiovascular work you do at sea level, then the more adaptation you have for your body to be able, your muscles to be able to utilize whatever oxygen they get and grab a large percentage of that and actually utilize it, then again, the better that will help you at altitude, because while you're getting less oxygen at altitude, your muscles are able to use a higher percentage of the oxygen they get than somebody who's not trained. And so therefore, again, you will do better. Is it perfect? No. The perfect answer is to go up there for a couple weeks if you can. But if not, these two things will help prepare you the best that you can be. Your altitude adaptation will happen a lot faster than somebody who hasn't done those things. I hope that helps, Mountain Toughers. I'm looking forward to seeing you soon.